Good day. This webinar will inform Mexican and Mexican American parents and students about the different educational opportunities that the Mexican education system provides in the United States and in Mexico. This webinar will also be about the educational procedures and opportunities available to nationals in the US to further their education in Mexico. Hi, my name is Dr. Nilka Aviles. I am a Senior Education Associate at IDRA, a former principal and a current local university professor. I'm here with Sylvia Valencia, who is my colleague at IDRA, and Kayla Halif, who represents the Community Affairs Department at the Mexican Consulate in San Antonio. Welcome, Sylvia and Kayla. Thank you for being here with IDRA for this webinar on the educational opportunities in Mexico.
As always, I'm happy to be here. Thank you both.
It's a pleasure to be a part of the seminar with you, Sylvia and Dr. Aviles.
Over the last month, IDRA has conducted these webinars for students and parents with the intention of keeping the community informed about educational opportunities regardless of immigration status. So even during the COVID-19 health crisis, the Mexican Consulate, VOE, and IDRA continue to work diligently to inform and motivate our communities to continue to pursue their education, to assure a better future for themselves and their families. I would like to start with Sylvia. Sylvia, can you explain what programs are available for members of the Spanish-speaking community interested in furthering their studies while they live in the United States?
Of course, Dr. Aviles, there are three main educational programs offered by the Mexican government for Mexicans living outside of Mexico. High school, SEP online, bachelor's degree online at UNAM, this is free, and the Open University and via distance learning at UNAM of Mexico.
Great. Let's dive into what those programs entail. Kayla, can you please tell us more about Prepa CEP, which is high school, and the UNAM's free bachelor degree online?
Of course, the Prepa CEP program, considered high school in the US, was created by Mexico's Department of Education, which is known as CEP. It was offered to Mexicans wanting to obtain their Mexican high school diploma. The program is approximately 2 years long and is offered in Spanish through an online platform. UNAM's Bachillerato, equivalent to a high school diploma program in the US, like Prepa CEP, offers the community the opportunity to obtain a high school diploma credential with specific focuses. This could be humanities, mathematics, social studies, and science. The program is offered through the Universidad Autónoma of Mexico, which is UNAM, and the program is 2 years long as well and offers students support during their enrollment in the program through an online platform as well.
Very important information, especially when there's a big part of the community that really wants to master the English language. Kayla, can you share with us a little bit more details about the cost and the requirements in order to access these educational programs?
Of course. Basically, programs require people to register online through their respective websites. Prepa CEP requirements for enrollment include a digital picture in color and a primary and alternative email address. Participants will also need scanned documents or PDF form, such as a middle school certificate, birth certificate, and a unique registration password and proof of residency, such as a bill no older than 3 months. This includes like a water bill or a light bill. The requirements for the UNAM Bachillerato program are kind of similar. The main requirement is an original middle school certificate with a minimum average of a 7 or a 70, as we know here in the United States. The individual will also need to submit an original birth certificate, proof of residency, and a CURP if they are a national Mexican.
Can you explain a little bit what the CURP is?
Yeah, the CURP is a code that you get from your Mexican consulate. So you go and request a form and that CURP code is on there.
Okay, thank you, Kayla, for the information about these great options to finish Mexican high school. Sylvia, you also mentioned the Universidad Abierta y a Distancia de México, the UNADM program. Can you tell us more about this program?
Yes, of course. Like Prepa CEP and UNAM's Bachillerato, the UNADM is also an online program. UNADM was created to expand opportunities and meet the demand for higher education throughout the country under permanent criteria and standards of quality and innovation. with special attention to regions and groups that for various reasons do not have access to school-based education services. It allows the Mexican and Mexican American community that aspire to have a higher education to choose one or more degree programs among 36 university degrees in various levels.
I think that this is a wonderful educational opportunity. I was not even aware of it. Sylvia, can you tell us more about the various levels?
Yes, UNADM gives Mexicans in the United States the opportunity to obtain the following university educational levels. The first one is associate degrees, bachelor's degrees, and master's at no cost.
Wow, so UNADM is a completely free online university, Sylvia. And are there any specific requirements to access this program?
Yes, this is a free online university, and it is only for members of the Mexican and the Mexican American community who meet the following criteria. 1, being a Mexican or a Mexican American national, which means that they were either born in the country of Mexico or one of their parents were born in Mexico. 2, have a valid Mexican picture ID. This could be the Mexican passport or the Mexican national ID, INE. Or they can have a proof of a high school diploma showing completed education, meaning high school diploma or the GED certification from any country in any language. Also, proof of residency of the foreign country in which they currently live, rent contract, water, electricity, or telephone bills, among others. As I mentioned, these are only the main requirements to access the UNADM. People who are interested should visit the website www.unadmexico.mx or contact directly the UNADM by email at mexicanosenileextranjero@un@mexico.mx.
Without a doubt, this is really valuable information. Now, Kayla, as government and education sector represented in the Community Affairs Department of the Mexican Consulate, and due to the current immigration situation experienced by some Mexican families who are returning to their country of origin, are there any programs for the students and parents to resume their studies in Mexico?
Yes, they are. For people who are returning to Mexico, they must be prepared to revalidate any other studies conducted in the U.S. The consulate, as well as the VOE, refers people to the Revalidation of Studies program offered by CEP. The revalidation of studies is completed through an administrative authority of the respective state in which foreign studies are validated. The revalidation process is composed of 3 main stages as shown on the screen. These 3 stages are elementary and middle school studies, high school studies, and higher education.
Makes sense. Once people move or migrate to other countries, they must always remember and be prepared to validate or revalidate their current studies in order to continue with their education elsewhere. So Kayla, can you tell us more about the requirements for the revalidation process?
Of course, the main requirement for the revalidation process is a birth certificate, certifications, or grades from studies conducted in the respective country, and payment for the revalidation. The payment for the revalidation of studies varies depending on the grade level being validated. There are other requirements listed on the PowerPoint along with the links for resources. As shown in the PowerPoint, the requirement for each stage of revalidation varies. For example, to revalidate elementary and middle school education, the current school where the student is enrolled must complete a transfer document that can be picked up at the community office of the Mexican Consulate. Although most services offered in the consulate require an appointment for this specific documentation, it is on a walk-in basis and is completely free of charge.
You mentioned the cost may vary. So what is the best way to find out what really the cost is and obtain more information if needed for our community?
Basically, the cost depends on the education trying to be revalidated. Individuals who are attempting to revalidate their studies in Mexico are encouraged to ask their respective states for the current cost and to check the current cost of Mexican currency the date of the payment. In 2019, the cost of revalidating an elementary or middle school studies was 40 pesos, which is approximately $2.25. The cost for revalidating a higher education degree is approximately 1,117 pesos, which is approximately $62. We give you the same recommendation to see the current cost of Mexican currency the day of payment. What I recommend to the Mexican community is that prior to returning to Mexico, call the Mexican Consulate at 210-227-9145, extension 3611, or visit https://www.gov.mex trámites/ficha/revelación de estudios de nivel medio superior /SEP 3034. You can also find information on this PowerPoint on that website.
Thank you, Kayla, for this information. You also mentioned education opportunity programs to continue and finalize studies for Mexicans returning to Mexico. Can you share some of these opportunities with us, please?
Sure, Dr. Aviles. I can mention these educational opportunities, and Sylvia can help us by giving us some brief descriptions about each of them. As in the US, Mexico has an elementary, middle school, and high school, as well as many private and public universities and academic institutions for Mexicans to continue their education and fulfill their career goals. We also offer different scholarships to help students achieve their educational goals. Some of these programs are the National Language Level Certification, known as CENI program, created by the Secretaría of Public Education, STEP, that seeks to establish a national frame of reference for the evaluation and certification of languages in Mexico. It aims at raising educational quality in the subject, especially in the case of teaching English as a foreign language. The National College of Professional Technical Education, CONALEP, is a college that has school campuses in most of Mexico's states. Common Lit is an online program for the training of critical readers. As for the Mexican local scholarship programs, I can mention the following two: Becas Mexico and Becas MAL.
Excellent. Once again, thank you, Kayla, for allowing us to know more about the educational offerings in Mexico for Mexicans in the United States and across the globe. So Sylvia, can you tell us about CENI and CONALEP? What are these programs and what do they offer?
Absolutely, Dr. Aviles. CENI, as Kayla mentioned, stands for National Language Level Certification. This program allows to reliably and objectively reference the level of knowledge of a given language, which is given in an official document that allows the General Directorate of Accreditation, Incorporation, and Revalidation to its use for the various authorities, institutions, and users of the national educational system.
Basically, CENI gives the opportunity to the Mexican community to obtain a certificate in the English language or any other language this community learned or mastered while they live and studied in the US or any country. And what about the requirements for this program and its contact information? Can you tell me, Sylvia?
Well, the Mexicans that want to get their certification must do the following: complete an online application and print along with the folio number generated by the system. Submit a birth certificate and their unique population registry code. Present the passport of the Mexican national identification or picture ID, as well as other requirements based on case-by-case scenario, including a validation exam. More information can be found in this website, www.ceni.sep.gov.mx, or by email at ceni@sep.gov.mx.
Thank you, Sylvia. What can you tell us about CONALEP College?
CONALEP is a subsystem that allows Mexicans or Mexican-American students to study a technical career while continuing or finishing high school for those who were not previously able to. Upon graduation, students are granted a technical professional title and a certificate of secondary education. CONALEP has 308 schools distributed throughout the Mexican Republic, offering 58 careers, divided into 7 areas of specialization.
Wow, this sounds like a well-prepared college education system with great opportunities. Does it require any cost for the Mexicans and Mexican-American community? And can they access this educational program from the US?
Well, as far as the cost, Dr. Aviles, I have to say that it's similar to a community college here in the US. There is a cost depending on the technical career and what other certification programs the students are interested in. Until now, CONALEP is only for the students living in Mexico. As always, there are options to contact these educational programs offices in the following websites: www.gov.mx/CONALEP and www.ingreso.conalep.edu.mx/planteles.php. For people to access the direct contact information, they will have to enter the Mexican state in which they are planning to go to a CONALEP school.
I also must add that CONALEP have online courses for people that prefer to study from home. Also, this college has the option to pre-register online in the website https://tramites.conalep.edu.mx/preregistro. If people want to be prepared before returning to Mexico, they must have the following documentation: the Unique Population Registry Code, the CURP. People can refer to their local Mexican consulate, like I said before. Current high school transcript or high school diploma, proof of address with a zip code, valid personal account, and then a personal or family telephone, including the area code.
Thank you to both of you, Kayla and Sylvia. Now, who can tell us about the Conlon program and its services mentioned before?
Dr. Aviles, Conlon is a free resource which has textbooks and activities for teachers, parents, and students. The program is for all Spanish-speaking people anywhere in the world who meet the main requirement, that is that the individual must be a teacher or student wanting to improve reading or comprehension skills in Spanish. All that is needed to access this resource is to create an account for the student. For more information, people are encouraged to visit https://www.conlon.org/es.
This has been a very informative webinar. We are near the end of the webinar, but it is important to also inform the community about possible scholarship opportunities for the Mexican community. Sylvia, what can you tell us about the scholarship opportunities you mentioned before?
Of course, Dr. Aviles, these scholarship opportunities are for people residing in Mexico. The following two scholarships will help fund students' education both at a local and international level. One is Becas Mexico, and the second one is Becas MOB. For more information, deadlines, and application requirements, please visit the following links as displayed in your screen or in the video description box.
It is often hard for people living out of their country of origin to find the correct information to either start or continue their education. Unfortunately, this happened to many of the Mexican community in this country. I think that this webinar will be very helpful for people that now know that the Mexican Consulate offers many educational options for nationals who live inside and outside of Mexico.
Yes, Dr. Aviles, it is incredible to find out how many people of our Mexican community are not aware about our educational programs through VOE services. Additionally, there are many services such as legal, health, and finance free programs within the consulate to help people learn to navigate these different locally systems in foreign countries they're currently living in. This is why I would like to take advantage of this opportunity to invite our Mexican community to visit us as the Mexican Consulate to find out more about educational programs that, because of limited time, we do not have a chance to discuss. We also have an educational guidebook that is available to all visitors and can be provided upon request.
With that said, our time really has elapsed. Thank you, Sylvia and Kayla, for joining us for this valuable webinar full of great information.
Thank you, Dr. Aviles, and to IDRA for this enormous collaboration and contribution to our community.
Thank you, Dr. Aviles and Kayla, for the opportunity to collaborate with you on this effort.
As always, remember that for more information regarding this webinar, feel free to reach out to us at IDRA at our phone number 210-444-1710. Also, please visit idra.org and look us out on IDRA's YouTube channel for more VOE webinars. If you have additional questions, please contact Dr. Nilka Aviles at nilka.aviles@idra.org. Thanks for joining us. Continue to be well. Goodbye.